And so if you're getting intuitive hits as to how to keep your mind dialed in, if you're getting intuitive hits of how to recover and take care of yourself, and if you're getting intuitive hits on what you should be doing for exercise, and you're getting intuitive hits as to what you're supposed to be eating, well then, hello guys! Your manifestation is happening. Okay, the same thing goes with building a business or becoming a millionaire or starting a nonprofit. Okay, if you get an intuitive hit that you got to go build a website, well, that's a manifestation that your dream is happening. Okay, you're missing all of those subtle things, and it's blocking and creating resistance from your manifestation from materializing. Hey guys, how is it going? Today's topic is 5 ways that you are missing your manifestation. And the reason why this conversation is so important is because while we're waiting for our dreams to happen, while we're waiting for our manifestations to materialize, it's easy for us to look at the watch and be like, where is it? I just visualized. Where is it? I've been visualizing for 3 days. Where is it? And the first thing that I want you guys to know is that when you are manifesting something that is more than just, like a good meal or a good opportunity for an appointment, or you're manifesting something more on the smaller scale, then yeah, I can totally understand. It's not necessarily the right thing to do, but I could totally understand why you would be like waiting for it. But most of us aren't typically intentionally creating those types of things. Most of us are intentionally trying to create big dreams, big opportunities, large sums of money, a beautiful large dream home, or even an abundance of traveling, right? And so those things, in waiting for those kinds of things, it can be challenging to our mind and to our heart. And so if you gather anything from today's video, then I want you to grasp this, okay? If you are changing the trajectory of your life, okay? If you are changing, going from poverty to millionaire, if you are going from overeating and overweight to fit, slim, and sexy, if you are going to from unhealthy to complete optimal health, that's a timeline jump, and it's going to take time. Okay, it takes time. And so that is why this topic of 5 ways you are missing your manifestation, the validation that it's actually happening, is so important. Okay, so I want to dive into this. I got my list here, and let's just go ahead and dive in. So number 1, when I say share all of these things with you, these are all like micro shifts or micro validations that your dream, your manifestation is actually coming to reality. Okay, so number 1, let's take a look at invisible progress. What is invisible progress, right? Because it's not, if you're trying to attract money, it's not the number in your bank account. If you're trying to lose weight, it's not the number on the scale. The invisible progress is in your thoughts, feelings, and emotions, okay? And those are the leading indicators as to how close or how far away you are from your manifestation. So one of the ways that you could be missing that your manifestation is actually happening is in the way that you think. Missing out on recognizing those new thoughts, recognizing those new thoughts that come unconsciously, right? So let's use the weight loss example. So if you just started losing weight, let's say you lost your first 3 pounds, and you miss the fact that you're starting to unconsciously think, wow, I feel better in my body, or wow, I'm feeling more flexibility in my body, wow, I'm feeling more mobility, or wow, my pants aren't as tight. Typically we write those things off, but those are actually micro validations, micro shifts, invisible progress that validates to you that indeed your manifestation is happening. Okay, let's say that attracting abundance, right? Attracting money. if you are starting to have beliefs, like if you are starting to have thoughts about it's possible for me to attract money, and that it's not wrong for me to want money or desire money, and it's not wrong for me to desire financial security, and those weren't thoughts you had a week ago, and those weren't thoughts you had a month ago, then that's progress. That's validation that you're actually moving towards your manifestation, that your manifestation is actually happening. It's just happening on a micro level. Okay, we don't take that for, we take that for granted. And we don't want to take that for granted. Okay, it's those micro shifts in our thoughts about the thing that we're trying to manifest. If you hated running, and then all of a sudden you get into the routine of running, and you have this goal to run a 5K, well, if you're starting to naturally desire to run, it's validation that you are working towards being the winner of a 5K. Right? If you're looking for David Goggins' level of athleticism, right? When you start enjoying the pain like he does, finding joy in the pain, that's validation that your dream is actually happening. When you're no longer, let's take a look at the emotions, right? When you're no longer waiting for your manifestation to happen in order to feel happy. When you feel like your dream is closer than it's ever been, or you even feel like your dream is real now, even though you can't sense, feel, taste, or smell it, that is when you know that you're in alignment with your manifestation and it's coming. You have to pay attention to those micro shifts in the invisible progress. Okay, how are your thoughts different than they were a month ago? Those are very strong leading indicators, because it's your mind that influences the material realm. And so if your mind is still stuck where it was a month ago, 2 months ago, 10 years ago, then you're going to repeat the same thing the next month, the next 2 years, or the next 10 years. Okay, when you see a shift in your mind and in your emotions, that is such a strong leading indicator that your dream, your manifestation is closer than it's ever been. Okay, so to pay attention to that invisible progress. And I know it's not the most fulfilling sometimes. I totally get that. We want that instant gratification. We want to see the numbers rise in our bank account. We want to see the numbers drop on the scale. I hear you, but it does not, those numbers don't change if you don't change. Bottom line, okay? The second one, again, micro shifts. What are the mental and emotional milestones that you have hit? What are the emotional and mental milestones? If you're trying to get out of debt, right, and you've stopped obsessing over how much debt you're in and you're focused on how to bring money in, that is an emotional milestone. That is a mental milestone. Okay, what are your mental and emotional milestones that you're hitting? That is validation that progress is happening in your dream, in your manifestation, because the truth is, guys, is that your manifestation, your dream, the person that you see in your future is not the person that you are now. So when you are seeing changes in your mental, emotional, identity, and belief states, that is the greatest validation that you can get that your dream is actually happening. Now, if you have the same old thoughts, same old emotions, and all the same bullshit as the day before, then you're farther away. You're pushing yourself farther away. What is the changes that are going on around you? Okay, this is another indicator in the micro shifts. What changes do you see in your environment? Okay, are the changes, is your house set up a little bit differently now? Have you gotten rid of old articles of clothing or old tchotchkes or old furniture, right? Have you rearranged your house? Is the dining room table in a different place? Is the couch in a different place? Is the bed in a different place? Okay, are you using different materials? Are you using different headphones than you once were? Right? Are you reading different books or watching different videos than you used to? Those are all signs and validations that you are changing. And in that change, your manifestation is happening. Okay? What about the change in your relationships? who are you closer to now? And who are you not closer to now? Okay, how have the relationships in your life changed? How has the dynamics of those relationships changed? Okay, I know firsthand that your associations are so important to whether you make it or break it in your dream. That's why community is so important. So if your associations have changed for the better and you're talking to people who have bigger picture mindset or have bigger dream mindset and beliefs, then you're in the right group. But if you're talking with people who think small and stay small and say, oh, Johnny is going to be a hotshot now with his big dream, those are not your people. Those are what I call dream thieves. And most of them do mean well. They don't want you to get hurt. But they're projecting their limitations onto you. And you're buying them. Okay? What is the change in your relationships that you have seen? Also, how have you changed in the way that you dress and groom yourself? Those are big things too. As some of you know that have been here from the beginning, I used to have bangs here. I'm growing those out. They weren't in alignment with the future me. Okay, they were the old version of me. They were the old version of me when I became a mother 5 years ago. That's when I got them. That's the old me. Have you started brushing your teeth both now in the morning and in the evening? Or have you started working out? Right? Are you starting to wear new clothes? Are you wanting to change up your style? Do you desire new clothes? If you're working towards a dream and you want to change your physical appearance and the way that you groom and take care of yourself, those are also huge leading indicators. Because the whole foundation, especially in Joe Dispenza's work, the whole foundation of creating a new personal reality is changing your personality. And the things that you think and feel create your personality. And that falls under the bracket of your habits. Okay, so if you're changing the way that you groom yourself or present yourself, or you're changing your habits, maybe you're no longer waiting to walk in the afternoon. Now maybe you're walking right or straight away in the morning. Maybe you were eating breakfast, but now you're intermittent fasting. How much change has come to be in your life since you started working towards this manifestation? Okay? When you visualize, if you are practicing visualization in your dreams, absolutely effing good for you. Sometimes after you visualize, all of the stuff in the subconscious mind that's incongruent with the visualization of your dream comes forward. And that's why sometimes it kind of puts us in a wobble or leaves us out in kind of in a place of disalignment. Okay, but it's actually not disalignment. It's actually great alignment, because when you are visualizing and the stuff in your subconscious mind is not congruent with the stuff that you just visualized, all of that comes to the surface to be released. So when all of that old stagnant stuff that you thought was already gone, or that you feel is pushing you out of alignment, that's actually not the case. It's your subconscious mind saying, here's all of the weeds that you still need to pull so that you can be closer mentally and emotionally to your dream. So that in itself is a leading indicator that your dream is truly manifesting. You're just missing it because you're caught up in the emotions of, oh, this old shit is coming forward, and oh, I'm feeling dense, or oh, I have this fear and that means I'm out of alignment. No, usually when you feel fear, guys, that means you're facing your true north. When you are feeling fear because you know you have to go outside of your comfort zone and do something, that means that you are on the right path. Because on the other side of that fear is your superpower, courageousness and bravery. And that courageousness and bravery unlocks the very person that you need to be on the other side in those visualizations. Okay? This is how you're missing. I know it sounds all really simple. You're like, oh my gosh, how have I been missing all of this? Well, that's why I made this video. Okay? So, number 3, your habits. And I talked about this, but there's a deeper level to it. Okay? How have your habits changed? How have your habits changed? I know for me, I used to go to the gym at 9 a.m. in the morning. Now I go to the gym at 4:30 in the morning. Okay, that was a huge change for me. What are some of the things that you are changing? Are you reading more? Are you spending less time on your phone? Are you spending less time watching TV? Are you spending more time mastering your craft? Are you spending more time in meditation and visualization? Are you spending more time in personal development? Right? How have your habits changed? Those are strong leading indicators of that your dream, your manifestation truly is happening. Okay? Also, so number 4, what are the intuitive hits or intuitive downloads that you're getting in direction what the next step is? Those are 100% validation that your dream is happening. When you are getting intuitive downloads or intuitive hits of this is what you need to do next, and you follow through on that, right? That's a leading indicator that your dream is actually happening, because you're creating the next stepping stone required in order for you to step up into the next level, right? If you are getting intuitive hits or intuitive downloads and you're ignoring them, you are delaying your dream. You are delaying your manifestation. Okay, it goes back to it. Why are you ignoring it? Is it because it's not comfortable? Is it because you're afraid? Is it because you don't know if it'll actually work? Is it because you're not sure it's worth it? Is it because you don't trust your intuition? Okay, when you get those intuitive hits, that gut instinct, where you know you're like got clear direction from the divine, and you're like, this is the next step required of you in order for you to move forward, and you follow through on that, that is validation that your manifestation is happening. Okay? A good leading indicator that your manifestation is happening, of having a nice, rockin', sexy body, right, is the muscle soreness, right? I love feeling muscle soreness the next day. I'm like, oh, that means I did such a good job, right? Focus on what those intuitive hits are. What are those downloads, those direction downloads that you're getting? Because you cannot be sexy AF unless you follow those steps. Right? And those steps are getting your diet right, making sure you're exercising, making sure you're taking care of yourself and recovering, making sure that your mind is dialed in. And so if you're getting intuitive hits as to how to keep your mind dialed in, if you're getting intuitive hits of how to recover and take care of yourself, and if you're getting intuitive hits on what you should be doing for exercise, and you're getting intuitive hits as to what you're supposed to be eating, well then, hello guys! Your manifestation is happening. Okay, the same thing goes with building a business or becoming a millionaire or starting a nonprofit. Okay, if you get an intuitive hit that you got to go build a website, well, that's a manifestation that your dream is happening. Okay, you're missing all of those subtle things, and it's blocking and creating resistance from your manifestation from materializing. Okay? And then the last one, number 5, feeling afraid and uncertain, right? I briefly talked about this, but if you're not sure, right? If all you can connect to, all you know is that either you're destined for greatness, or you're committed to losing 50 pounds, or you're committed to getting your dial or your exercise routine dialed in, or you're committed to creating a purpose-driven spiritual business, or whatever have you. Okay? If you're afraid and you're uncertain, that is a great leading indicator that you are on the right path. Because I love the way that Joe Dispenza describes it. He says that the predictable past becomes the predictable future. If you're feeling afraid and uncertain and starting something new, that is so great. That means that you are working towards your manifestation. That means your manifestation is coming. It has to come to you in an unpredictable way. You draw the experience to you. Now, that doesn't mean that you sit down and chill out with a margarita out in the sun, not doing anything. But that does mean that you take intelligent action with those intuitive hits and direction downloads, and you follow that. Okay? And sometimes it is scary when you're uncertain or afraid. That means that you're on the right path because you're doing something new. And in order for you to be the person or receive the manifestation that you see, you have to become a different version of you, which means you're going to be stepping into moments of uncertainty. And that uncertainty is going to cause some fear. It's only natural. The best thing that you can do for yourself is allow that fear to activate courage and bravery within you and access your superpowers. Okay? So just a quick recap. 5 ways that you are missing that your manifestation is actually happening. Okay? So number 1, the invisible progress. The different thoughts, feelings, and emotions that you have today that you didn't have yesterday, 3 months ago, or 6 months ago. Okay? That's validation that your manifestation is happening, that you're on the right track, that you're in alignment. 2, micro shifts, right? What are the mental and emotional milestones that you have been hitting? What is the change been in your environment? What is the change been in your relationships? What is the change been in the way that you groom and take care of yourself? And then number 3, what about the habits? What habits of yours have changed? What are you doing now that you didn't do 2 months ago or 2 years ago? Okay? Number 4, the intuitive hits and direction downloads that you get as to what the next step is. And then lastly, being afraid and uncertain. Those are all validations in your day-to-day life that show you, confirm to you that your manifestation is actually really happening and it's real. And each day that you follow those directive hits, intuitive downloads, and all of those things, and recognize all of the little changes and follow that invisible progress, even document it for God's sakes. But recognizing all of those micro shifts, the more you fuel energy to your dream, and then the quicker that it happens. You collapse the time between the visualization and the occurrence of the actual event. Okay? All right, guys, I hope this was helpful. So much love for you. I love doing this for you guys, and I really hope that you get something from it. All right, guys, take care.